Hi guys, welcome back. So it's only Super-ish Saturday. Super Saturday would have happened, it would have been great. We probably would have had a grand finale with it going down right to the last minute to decide the winner of the Six Nations 2020. But in the end we're going to have to settle for a very tasty game between Wales and Scotland with just pride, and reputations on the line. So, for Wales, if they lose, results-wise, it's going to be a poor Six Nations. Maybe not performance-wise when you look at all the good things Wales have done in those games, but if they lose, it might be demoralising, and not least for the fans. I think the players will see where they've done well, but international rugby is about winning, and they will not be happy if they've only won one game, and that was to Italy. Now, Wayne Pivac would come under pressure from the media mainly, a bit from the fans, but he would be given time. I'm sure even if he lost this game, he's sticking in the job, rightly so, and he will be given time because there are clear things he's trying to do. It's not like he's not trying to actually develop Wales. Now, for Scotland, they're on that big moral boost of beating France. They're on, they're buzzing. If they can turn over Wales away, I think they'll class this as a good Six Nations for sure. Considering they played well against Ireland when they lost, and in the England game it was a storm, so you can't read too much into it. So if they beat Wales away, I think they'll say, yes, this is progress. So they'll be absolutely gunning for this game. Plenty to win, plenty to lose just in this standalone game. Okay, let's have a look at the teams. So for Wales, the front row is the same apart from Wilgraf John gets his chance at tight head. The position's open, so if he has a really storming game, the Wales scrum hasn't been amazing, so if he has a great game, maybe he could even force his way into that position. We'll see. In the second row, obviously Alan Wyn-Jones continues, but in the place of Jake Ball, who's injured sadly, Corey Hill is finally fit and gets his chance. Now, I've been saying for ages, I think Corey Hill is Wales' long-term starter in that position. He's got the skill, he's got a bit more X-factor than just a physical second row, and maybe even a potential leader, even captain in the future. So I do hope he goes well for that reason. But interesting to see how he does go, because, performance is the proof you need. The back row's the same, Moriarty, Tipperick and Navidi. Faletau continuing on the bench, and I think that's right. It gives him a lot of edge at the breakdown, a lot of speed and dynamism, which Scotland will struggle to cope with. In the backs, the back three are the same, although I thought they were okay last match against England. Liam Williams was very uncharacteristically sluggish, so he'll be looking for a big game, getting back to full fitness. North, I think, there were some good signs in that England game, but he'll want a big game, and Halfpenny too. So plenty to prove from the back three. Centres stay the same, and Tompkins is growing into that role. Parks needs a big game in my opinion. He hasn't been overly impressive. If Jonathan Davies comes back to fitness, I really do see a combination of him and Tompkins being possibly the starting combination for Wales. In whatever order they go, they can mix it around who plays 12 and 13, depending on the situation. Maybe use Jonathan Davies to coordinate the defence, Tompkins to come in as an extra playmaker occasionally, freeing up the 10. I really see that pairing working. Obviously, the proof will be in the pudding. Bigger, well, I think the Wales physio department has had their delivery of extra tape and have managed to stick him back together and get him out for another match. Impressive displays from Bigger so far. And 9, very interesting at 9, last but not least, Rhys Webb gets a start. Now, does he deserve the start purely on performance? Well, maybe just. But I think it's more, why not? Let's give him a go. We know how quality he is. He's been short of game time, but he absolutely has the talent to be Wales' starter. It's a real bun fight for that 9 jersey. If Webb has a great game, he could be straight back into that 1 slot. Gareth Davies comes in onto the bench. Thomas Williams out altogether. Let me know if he's injured. I don't know if he is or not, but that seems a bit unceremonious, dumping out of the squad from number 1 out of the squad, if that's the case, or are they just rotating? Let me know if you got the lowdown on that. On the bench, very similar, but there's Shingler's straight out. Again, I didn't hear anything about an injury, I don't know, but that's a bit, tough, straight in and straight out. Rowlands comes back in to cover the second row. Fanatics continues on the bench. Then Jared Evans and McNichol rounding it out. I do hope Jared Evans gets some decent game time because he really hasn't had much development in this Six Nations. But they're going to be desperate to win, so we will see. Anyway, moving on to Scotland. Stuart Hogg, the captain, he was buzzing from that French win, so expect to see a ramped up Scotland team. Hogg as a captain is nothing but passionate, so I really expect him to make some big speeches and his Scottish team will come out firing, I'm sure. Even though it's hard to captain from fullback, things he'll say in the change room, etc., I'm sure will be good stuff. Backline, as is, you'd expect them to from that good performance as a backline against France. They were so slick, hardly made any mistakes. Hastings was starting to pop, Price was whizzing that ball away, and it was all working. They were getting the ball wide, Maitland scored a couple, so absolutely going to give that backline another whirl for sure. In the front row, we see a change again. The hooker changes again. McAnally now starts. I really don't think they can decide who their best player is. Maybe they're going for a bit more speed because Wales are a bit faster. Don't know. But Sutherland and Fagerson will absolutely fancy a crack at the Welsh scrum, which has been okay, not unbelievable. Sutherland's been a bit of a revelation. Sure, he's not a newbie to the professional game, but he's come into this Scottish team and made a big impact alongside Xander Fagerson. Can they take on the Welsh scrum? Can they get the upper hand? Wow, what a meteoric rise it would be if they do that. Second row, we see another speeding up of the Scottish team. I think that is a deliberate ploy. Skinner's in, a versatile second row, back row. Gives a much more speed, kind of like playing 4 back rows in open play. Then Big Gilchrist at 5. Richie and Watson, the absolute stars of the show. They're going to have their hands full against Tipperick, Moriarty and Navidi, but that's going to be a great battle. And at number 8, rounding it out, Haining drops out through illness, I believe, which is a real shame because I think he'd won that battle to start at number 8. But Bradbury gets another crack. He's been a little bit quiet. This is his chance to impress. So again, all to play for that number 8 slot. So there's lots of individual battles, for starting spots as players battle out for supremacy. On the bench for Scotland, very similar, but Cummins goes down to the bench. He'll want a big game to try and get himself back into the starting team. But I think it's more, they think Wales will move the ball really quickly, so they want slightly quicker pack, I believe. And then maybe we'll see the likes of Horn and Weir and Stain come on towards the end and see what they can add. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think on the selections. Let me know how you think the game will go. It's absolutely fascinating. Wales at home, I would make them favourites for that reason, but Scotland's certainly on and up, and they're all playing for pride. And the good thing is, in the Six Nations, these historic games have a lot of pride in them, and we should be on for a cracker. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you next time.